It's day 69. No fair giggling. Whenever people on the internet talk about having a really petty hill to die on, I hardly ever have an example. I'm usually down to just let people have their opinions without having to argue with them about them. But I discovered one that I think is going to stick, and it's all about flashback consistency. So, my partner and I are watching and enjoying the Peacock series, All Her Fault. Uh, it's adapted from a book. It stars Sarah Snook from Succession and Elle Fanning from everything. Um, and it's about a woman, and it's about a family whose son is kidnapped, and suspicion falls on the mother and then on her friend. And one of the critics on NPR's Pop Culture Happy Hour described it as really being a story about how men make women's lives worse, and it really is true. But so in episode 1, we have a flashback that starts with two of the lead characters at a new parents' school booster event. And then after a few minutes, it shifts perspective, and we see a conversation that happens between two side characters, neither of whom we have met on screen yet in the present of the story. And that really took me out of the story, because starting with characters who we have met in the current present of the story sets up the expectation then that the events in the flashback are things that they have witnessed. And so we're seeing them because they can remember those events occurring. Then shifting to this other conversation puts us in a place where none of the characters who we have met on screen yet in the present of the show would have any idea that that conversation took place, let alone what was said. Now, we do meet both of those characters later on in the present timeline of the show, but at the point of the flashback, we haven't yet seen them on screen. They've only been talked about. And so you start with the expectation of this flashback shows us things that our characters have experienced, and then breaks that expectation by showing us an event that none of the characters we've met so far could have witnessed. It just really hit me right in the suspension of disbelief. And so I think the hill that I have to die on is flashback consistency. Either all of the events of the flashback need to be things that our characters have witnessed and therefore could be seen as a flashback to their memories, or have it be a flashback to events that none of our characters witnessed, so you know you're seeing it from a sort of omniscient narrative perspective, and it's only there to serve the story. But if you do both in the same flashback, then you're creating a tension between these are events that some of our characters remember versus these are events that only we, the audience, sees. I think it's got to be one or the other. So, flashback consistency, that's the hill I'm going to die on. Thanks for listening to my rant. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you again soon.